Hey, hello. Welcome to Psych 240. My name is Gloria Wong Padunpat, and I'll be your instructor for this course, Research Methods in Psychology. And this is a milestone course, very important, a little bit difficult, but we're going to get through it, I promise. Hey, your first slide. So, take home point for this slide is probably the last part of my last name, Padunpat. Uh, Pretty difficult to pronounce, even more difficult to spell. I'm still having problems with it. I don't expect students to pronounce it right, but if you do, or if you refer to me by my full last name, um, you get some brownie points. But Dr. Wong, Professor Wong, is just fine. I always like to start the semester off kind of disclosing a little bit about my personal journey in psychology. Uh, so I started at University of California, San Diego. That's where I got my undergrad degree, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, with an emphasis in developmental psychology and a minor in Chinese studies. And as I reflect back on my time as an undergrad, one significant year was the year I went abroad. So in that year, I really found out um, what my passions were in psychology around cultural competence, around discrimination, around disparities with mental health. So all these interests came to me during this year, and when I came back, um, I was ready to really explore these fields. However, I wasn't ready to commit to a 5 year program or PhD program. And at that time, I was looking at different PsyD programs too. So I actually took a year off, worked, and did my master coursework at Cal State LA in general psychology. So during my time there, it was 2 years, and everyone there was wanting to apply for a PhD program. So um, it was a great experience. I actually didn't finish my master's there because they were going to give me my master's at my PhD program at UC Davis. But during this time, it was a very good transition part for me. And I bring this up because a lot of the students get kind of confused when they graduate, that they just need to get a advanced degree. And I'm a good example of a student that took a year off, took 3 part-time jobs, and did a master's, and was definitely more ready for a PhD program at that point than just coming fresh from undergrad. Uh, I do bleed purple and gold. I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. So go Lakers. Usually I'm by myself in that fandom with my students. However, I'm not a fan of the LA Kings. I am a Golden Knights fan. Go Knights, go. Fun fact about your professor. I played competitive hockey. I played it as a kid. I played it in high school, and I played it in college. And I played it after college too. Actually played for the LA Kings organization, and that's probably why I'm not a fan of theirs. You don't have to ask too much about that. I do coach now. I do more coaching than playing, and I coach for the Golden Knights youth programs. A very exciting time for hockey um, in this city. I got my PhD in social personality psychology. So I did uh, try in the field of developmental psychology in undergrad, and kind of morph my way into a social psychologist. So I am a social psychologist by training. And I got my PhD from the University of California, Davis. In 2016, in my two research programs during my graduate studies, one was in addictions, looking at addictions among Asian Americans, specifically around gambling and gambling disorders. And fun fact, not really fun fact, but Asian Americans are impacted by gambling and are overrepresented in gambling disorders more than any other disorders. And then my other line of research looks at the impact of microaggressions. And what are microaggressions? Those are everyday forms of discrimination. And I examine, again, I'm a social psychologist by training. I am interested in when those acts happen, what's going on, how is it stressful for the marginalized person, and if it's stressful, how is it impacting their self-esteem, implicit self-esteem, explicit self-esteem. So my project, I consider myself an interdisciplinary scholar, kind of incorporating cultural studies, ethnic studies, American studies into my training as a psychologist. So I'm a psychologist, social psychologist by training, but I do identify as an interdisciplinary scholar, which means that I borrow things from other fields to inform my work in psychology. And I'm a stress researcher. If you look at my line of research with addictions and my line of research with discrimination, microaggressions, the common thread is looking at the life stressors and how humans can what are stressors for humans and different types of humans, and how we can overcome these stressors. And there's different pathways to combat stress. I work a lot with undergrads like yourselves. I used to work more with them. Now I have graduate students who kind of take on the bulk of the work. Here are some of my past graduates, undergrads who are graduate students now. Some are, I'm looking at them right now, some are in medical school, some are finishing their PhD programs, some found their way into business, all shining stars. And why I show this is also one of the aspects of psychology is research, and to separate yourself from other applicants for an advanced degree is to obtain research experience. So there's actually a lot of research available to you all to partake in on campus, especially in this field, since it's so heavy on research. And here's a list of all the labs we have in the Department of Psychology. I'll give you all a second just to look at it. These are on the department website, so if you haven't clicked on it yet, it's worth looking at what resources are out there for you all in terms of research. So let's get into the syllabus. I love memes. And I put this up one time and there was no one who laughed. I thought it was funny. I put it up as a kind of a graduate student teeing for a class. And I realized that the meme speaks to one perspective. So it speaks to the perspective of the TA or the instructor. And then here's another one. What if I told you the information you seek is in the syllabus? So why I put this is that the syllabus is pretty important. Instructors spend a lot of time during their summer, during their prep hours, thinking about the syllabus. So definitely take a look at it. And again, I've scaled a lot of the assignments back. Let's get into the syllabus. All right, here's a syllabus. This is Research Methods in Psychology, Psych 240. Here's my information. I do have an office, CBCB 311, and if we need more room, we can move it on down to my lab, which is CBCB 145 in the same building. Here are my office hours. Please email me prior, just so I'll be on the lookout for you. Here's my email address, gloria.wong@unlv. You will have a TA for this class, and here's their information. They will also have office hours. Take a look at the office location and the TA's office hours time. And here's the required textbook. And here's the course format. I'll let you all read that on your own time. Let's jump down to course requirements. So first off, you have a writing assignment, which is going to be 15% of your grade. This is only one writing assignment. Usually during the spring and fall, we have 4 different writing assignments, but we're going to condense it for the summer into one writing assignment. And this is a 2.5-page minimum paper in APA style. It really gets you thinking about your larger psychological research proposal, which is due later on in the semester. So this assignment can be used as the beginning 2.5 pages for your overall research proposal. Again, this is 15%, and further instructions will be uploaded in your Canvas module. You also have a film reflection due, and that's going to be 10% of your grade. You'll watch Super Size Me, a documentary, and then you will be asked to reflect on the research methods. So here are some of the specific things to pay attention to. Research methods used, critiques of the research methods, and you will be asked to discuss one major benefit of the research design and then one major criticism, and this will be due during week 3. Now let's go to chapter quizzes, and these are going to be 15% of your overall grade. Plan to have one every other day. It's at 11:59 p.m. Please don't wait. Again, please don't wait until the very end to complete these quizzes. And then the specific due dates are all listed for you down below in the syllabus, so we'll go over those in detail once we get to the specific due dates. Okay, you're gonna have 2 exams in this course, one midterm and one final, both weighing 20% of your grade, total of 40%. The midterm will be multiple choice and short answer, and so will the final exam. The midterm is going to be the first half of the course material, and then the final exam is not cumulative. It is only going to be the later half of the course material. So there's no makeup exams for this course, but if you have an emergency, I know that something can come up, please be in contact with me. Now we have the research proposal paper. So at the end of this semester, you will be completing a 5-page research proposal, and you will propose this research. More details will be on an individual module, so please check Canvas, just like the individual modules for the assignments. Academic dishonesty, just don't cheat. And the grading rubric, here are the grading cutoffs. Please take a look. I don't give out A pluses, or the A plus doesn't show up on your transcripts. However, for those students that do receive an A plus for this course, that is a automatic letter of recommendation. And here is the grade breakdown. So it'll be 15% for that one writing assignment, 10% for the film response, 15% total for the chapter quizzes. Then we have 20% each for the exams, 40% total, and then 20% for your final research proposal paper. And here are some important semester dates. So here's the course breakdown. It goes week by week, and actually for the summer, day by day. So we have week 1, which is what we're in right now. Monday, we have the course introduction, and we get right into topic 1, chapter 1. We'll do the reading for Monday, and then Tuesday immediately we have this quiz 1 that's due before 11:59. And so this will be the patterns. You'll get introduced to a chapter, a material, a topic, and then the following day you'll be quizzed on it. So that's the same with Wednesday. We start with topic 2, chapter 2, and then we are taking the quiz on Thursday. And then Friday we have 3 claims and 4 validities, and then we have Saturday and Sunday, which I've kind of combined for the summer semester, and then we'll be asked to finish quiz 3 before 11:59. And then week 2 looks very similar, except we have a little break on Wednesday for our Juneteenth, and then we jump right back into topic, chapter, and then quiz. And note for week 2, that's when the writing assignment is due. Again, that's the 2.5 pages, looking at the research topic, starting your research paper, and that's 15% of your grade. And then we go into week 3, which we are starting with review of a midterm, and then your actual midterm is on Tuesday with all the topics 1 through 5, and that will be due 11:59. And you can choose whatever 2-hour block on Tuesday. Once you start, you'll have 2 hours to finish the midterm. And then afterwards, Wednesday, we have that film, Super Size Me, and then the film response is due that day. Thursday, we get right back into the pattern of things, reading one topic, and then next day, doing the quiz. And then same thing goes with Saturday and Sunday. Then we get into week 4, starting Monday with the quiz 7, then Tuesday topic 8, Wednesday quiz, Thursday topic 9, Friday quiz, and then Saturday and Sunday, that's when your paper proposal is to be worked on, and it's due that Monday, week 5. So Saturday and Sunday, definitely carve out that weekend to do that research proposal. And then Tuesday we do the last topic. Wednesday we have a quiz 10 and then the wrap up. And then Thursday we review for the final exam. And then Friday, the very last day of the semester, we'll have the final exam. And that will cover topics 6 through 10. Same thing with the midterm. You'll have a 2-hour block. Whenever you started on Friday, that's when the timer starts, and then you have 2 hours to finish.
A message from Big Snoop Deal Double G to all the university students. Yo, syllabus. You gotta do it. You gotta read it. Man, I'm telling you, the more you know, the further you go. Tell them Snoop Dogg sent you. Syllabus. I know all about it. Catch up so we can have a conversation. Don't be late. Let's go.
So hope you all enjoyed Snoop Dogg's message about the syllabus. I am aware that it's coming from one perspective. So here is a meme from another perspective, from your perspective. I was excited for this class, but then I read the syllabus. Ha 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 ha. So that's a perspective of the students. And hopefully the syllabus did not scare you all away. Now let's get into Canvas. I'm going to walk you through kind of the setup of Canvas and go through the modules. Here is Canvas. I have it in student view right now. Here's the home. You can also access the modules in the modules tab. Each tab, you're going to begin with the page, and I'm going to have the videos within the page, and it's going to outline that week of material. So the first week you're going to go into Welcome to Research Methods and also week 1, and then you're going to click the outline, and then it'll outline the objectives for that week. And also you'll be able to have a link into the lecture in there. You're going to also be able to find your quizzes here. You're going to be able to find your quizzes in different areas of Canvas. So that's the modules. If I go back to syllabus, you're going to be able to download the course syllabus that we just went over, and also you'll be able to see all the due dates for this class, and for the exams and for the quizzes and for the paper, and then you can see the breakdown. Sometimes the grades don't reflect the actual grade, so I'm gonna make it as close as possible, but there might be some variation. So that's the syllabus. Here are the quizzes that you can assess. But yeah, that's Canvas for you. Well, that's the end of your welcome video. And next week, our next video, we're going to start with what is psychology, dive right in to the basics of psychology, and then get into why research methods are important and why are you taking this as a milestone class. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.